Some people think that maths is about numbers, but I think that maths is about life. It describes and even represents the laws of nature and nature itself. John von Neumann said, "If people do not believe that mathematics is simple, it is only because they do not realize how complicated life is." Actually, I share his opinion, because for me, maths is about the creation. In order to prove my point of view, I would like to talk about one of the most talented Western mathematicians who lived in the Middle Ages. Leonardo of Pisa, best known as Fibonacci, is an Italian mathematician who lived in the 12th century. He introduced the special sequence of numbers to Western Europe. That is why this series of numbers was named after him. He explains his sequence on the example of rabbits in his Fibonacci, known as the Book of Population today. Fibonacci investigated the growth of rabbits' population based on few assumptions. Suppose that you have one male and one female rabbit that never die. At the age of 1 month, these rabbits are able to mate. At the age of 2 months, the female rabbit produces a new pair of rabbits identical to the initial one. Thus,
at the end of the first month, we have one pair of rabbits only. At the end of the second month, a female rabbit gives a birth to a new pair of rabbits, and we have 2 pairs in total. A month later, the initial female rabbit produces one more pair, making the number of rabbit pairs equal to 3. At the end of the 4th month, 2 more pairs of rabbits are produced, and we have 5 pairs of numbers in total. The number of pairs goes in this order. The rule means that the next term of the sequence is the sum of 2 last terms. For example, 2 is the sum of 1 and 1, 3 is the sum of 2 and 1, 5 is the sum of 2 and 3.
As I have said in the beginning, Fibonacci numbers are essential to nature. In order to prove that, I will draw squares with lengths of Fibonacci numbers.
Firstly, I draw 2 squares of size 1 next to each other. The next square is of size 2. Let's place it on the top of the small squares. The square with length of 3 touches former squares from the right. One more square of size 5 is added below the first 4 squares. The 6th square, which length is 8, is placed to the left of former squares. As you have noticed, we add squares going clockwise: up, right, down, and left. Repeating this process one more time, we have this picture.
The obtained curve looks very familiar, doesn't it? First of all, it reminds us of seashells, like these ones.
However, this curve appears in more complex processes. For example, the movement of Hurricane Sandy, which was the deadliest and most destructive hurricane in 2012, as well as the second costliest hurricane in United States history, can be represented by the golden spiral. The next example of Fibonacci curve in nature can be seen in cancer cell division. The DNA is in red color, while the cell membrane is in blue. The next photo was taken by James Hayden, who won the 4th place in the photomicrography competition. The subject of his photo is anglerfish ovary. One more time, golden spiral is made in nature. For me, the most fascinating example of Fibonacci curve in nature is human ear. Just look at it. Its shape resembles the curve. Due to this shape, sound waves are collected and sent to the inner ear. This means that you are able to hear me because your ear shape is similar to the golden spiral.
Charles Colton said, "The study of mathematics, like the Nile, begins in minuteness but ends in magnificence." I think Fibonacci numbers are a good example of how this quote works in real life. Just think about it. Fibonacci sequence starts with 1, 1, 2 and finishes with infinity.